Hey, welcome to the weekly snippet with me, Razib Gareth, Director of Scientific Content at SNPpet.
And I'm Gareth Heinem, Director of Genomics at SNPpet. We are going to talk about the newly assembled koala genome
So cute.
by the Johnson Group over in Australia.
Yeah. So, the big deal is it's a koala, which everyone loves.
And it's a marsupial, which is what?
I mean, they got the pouches, their gestation isn't as long, they don't have like a regular uterus. So they got a whole genome, they covered it 57-fold, which means that they got a lot of reads, 57 reads, for each position. They got 26,000 genes, which is about 7,000 more genes than us. And then it's like 3.6 gigabases. So ours is about 3.
Yep.
So they got a bigger genome, even though they're smaller animals.
26,000 genes.
It's not a big deal.
What's really cool about us sequencing new genomes is our ability to compare them to other species that we have studied pretty extensively.
Yeah, and they cure cancer. That's a joke.
But we can do that because a lot of the genetic building blocks that make every animal what they are shared between species.
It's called evolution.
Species-specific traits, like for example, the koala has a really specific diet of a single species of eucalyptus, can modify their expression and variations in those genes that allow us insights into ourselves. Yeah, and speaking of eating eucalyptus, that's a toxic plant for humans, but koalas are able to just hammer the stuff. It's literally their diet, and part of that is because they have mutation in what are called the cytochrome P450 gene family. Those genes are involved in pathways that basically help you metabolize all sorts of foreign substances. Yep. So in our app, Metabolism, we talk about caffeine and alcohol, and both of those are affected by the same cytochrome P450 gene family. For koalas, their ability to detoxify this eucalyptus is thought to be due to their versions of these genes.
When you're talking about really specialized diets, that's where you're going to see changes on cytochrome. Yes. Because it deals with toxic chemicals that you don't normally interact with. So yeah, like if you try to have a eucalyptus salad, it's not going to be nutritive. The issue with koalas and pandas and other species is they're obviously specialists. The problem with specialized strategies is you have a high reward, but it's also high risk in the long term. Evolutionarily, a lot of these specialist lineages, they come and go. And they re-evolve from generalist lineages over and over again. So koala is a derived form of, it's part of the wombat family.
It's getting way too nerdy right now.
Okay, so why don't you talk about the chlamydia?
Yeah, so I was going to segue into the chlamydia by talking about resistance to antibiotics based on the detoxification ability that koalas have. Koalas suffer from chlamydia. It makes them go blind, gives them urinary tract infections. It's basically fatal. And
antibiotics don't work because they're metabolized too fast before they are used to fight off the infection. In terms of the koala genome, metabolization is universal, so there's commonalities. Genes are orthologous. Genes are orthologous. So we got this commonality aspect, and yet they're like tweaks and modifications, and we see this in people, we see this in animals, and a lot of times when we look at the cytochrome genes and we look at the animal's diet, we can see, oh, okay, like this is how the adaptation happens. So it's like, it's giving us evolutionary insights, but also this variation can give us insights in terms of human variation and targeting for human drugs. So it has some relevance too.
It also gives us a great idea of whether or not we could beat a koala in a drinking competition.
And we can't, right?
It would seem not, yeah.
Yeah, because like they metabolize it really fast. On the other hand, they're small. Right? So we need to do the experiment. Now that's not our thing.
Studies to be done.
Yeah, if we got some behavioral ecologists out there who want to do the koala drinking competition and can get the IRB confirmed,
DM us.
Yeah. We'll get that done. Yeah, anything else going on with the koala genome?
No.
We'll see you next week.